All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Make HOAG Money. Wednesday, December the 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. Make sure you pray for those who were lost that day. Let's look for no losses today, of course. This is the CFTC disclaimer. Futures and Forex does contain substantial risk. They are leveraged products. You run the risk of losing more than you have in your account. This is, of course, for educational purposes only. This is a live account. You guys are giving me the trades. We don't suggest that anybody buy or sell anything that we're doing here. Of course, again, this is for educational purposes only. Of course, past performance is never indicative of any future results. There's no guarantee of profit or loss in any trade that anybody is taking. Hypothetical or simulated performance results do have certain limitations. To me, the biggest one is that there's no accountability, no risk, no rules in simulated trading accounts. Makes the trading decision much easier. Let's take a look here. Here's the rules for Make HOAG Money. Kindness and respect are expected above everything, of course. We're going to have a couple of people. I got Joe D's going to come in here real soon and start chatting about what he's seeing today. We're going to have a couple of people able to talk if you want to. All are going to be involved in the decisions. And of course, context in your trading is going to be helpful. You can use the chat room to discuss trades in Zoom and on YouTube. The Zoom folks are going to be involved in the decision in the polling to see if we take a trade or if we don't. We're going to be focusing on the E-mini, actually the micro S&Ps for opportunities. We're not going to trade just to trade, of course. No losing trades are allowed. That is, of course, a joke. We know that losing trades are a part of trading. We have to accept them and move on. And then feedback is, of course, vital to the continued growth and expansion of Make HOAG Money. If you have any ideas, things you want to see, things we can do better, please be sure and let us know. Here is the platform. Largely really range bound today. We got our hangover day we've been looking for. Joe, I'm going to get you in here. All right, I think Joe is going to show us Bookmap today. Good to see everybody. Nice to see everybody. Jimmy Decker, Timmy, good to see you. Finami, good to see you. All right, what do you got going on, Joe?
Well, let me see if I can share the screen.
Okay, give me
the last time because I'm on a Mac.
All right, give me a second. Okay, go for it.
I cannot share screen while you are sharing.
I'm not sharing anymore. Try again. Hey. No, we got you. Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Let me just give a quick rundown and then we can talk about trading.
Please take your time.
Okay, this gives you the high where I'm pointing at around 115, 120. Okay. And what I do is I get the IB high here and the IB low. Those blue lines, whatever they are, and then this middle line here, this kind of maroonish line, that's half back.
Okay.
Those are kind of my references for the context for the day.
Okay, good.
All right. Over here on the right, this is the current order book. I usually take that out because I look at so many things I don't really need to look at that. So I'll hide that. But over here, you got two volume profiles. This one here is for the session profile, and this here is for the current screen. And you'll see, once I zoom in, you'll see this one narrow.
Got it.
Okay, which I'll do right now. And this, you can see here, this recent high at 1120-ish, you can see this solid red line up here.
Right.
That you can see that's very large liquidity in the book. Okay, and then here above price and below price, I'll zoom in and it'll a little bit clearer. But that's all those colors. The red line, the red colors are the intensive liquidity,
Right.
large amounts of liquidity, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna zoom in and you're gonna see this current profile, you're gonna see it start to narrow. And
Because
if
you're
you're a
taking
day
volume
trader,
away.
I love that profile,
Uh-huh.
that current profile. See how it's narrowing? So
Mm-hmm.
it gives you what's on the screen. Right now, it's 305. So,
305 Eastern.
yeah, Easton, right. So, we got that's about 10 minutes. So you can see the liquidity above these dots, and then I'll shut up. These dots here give you an indication of the size of the order. These are all orders that are being executed.
Okay, so those bubbles, if they're green,
Bubbles, dots, right?
if they're green, are they trading on the offer? If they're red, they're
Yes,
trading on the bid.
that's right. Yeah, and you can see how far I can zoom it in.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
Yeah, you can go to like the millisecond in this
Micro,
thing.
micro.
Yeah.
So anyway, we can talk trading, and then if this applies, I can stop sharing now if you want.
Now wait a second. If you were to zoom out again, zoom the other way. Okay, that the big offer up at 50, it still shows it there, right? The big liquidity.
Oh yeah, there it is right there. Yeah,
There it is. Okay. Now,
yeah. No, that's gonna stay in there.
if price gets within 10 ticks of it and it's gone, it'll disappear, right?
Not necessarily. It might trade it. It might trade through it, or they might pull it.
Right. If they pull it, that line in the book map will stop. It'll go away, but only if we get within 10 ticks of it.
I mean, they can pull it at any time, but that's giving you information if they pull it. It's a spoof, basically, if they pull it.
Right, but we won't know that until we're within 10 ticks of it.
No, they can pull it now. When we would
They can pull it, but we won't know it.
No, if they pull it off the books, we're going to know it.
How does Bookmap get that information if the depth of market we can all see is only 10 ticks either side?
Maybe you're talking about something I don't understand. They get this information from the CME directly. That's all I know. You got to be. Yeah, they get it from the CME immediately.
Right. Well, I mean, we all do. My question is, it holds the fact that there was liquidity there when we were close enough to see it in the depth of market that we can see. If we have depth of market, we can only see 10 ticks either side, right?
I don't know, but I am confident that liquidity is on the books, and they're able to show us that.
Okay.
Period. But see how they're pulling the orders down here, and
Right.
they trade through this liquidity here. See how they pulled it?
Mm-hmm.
Some of it may have traded, but I think a lot of it was pulled.
Right, but it's in the realm of the 10 ticks that we can see in depth
Yeah,
of market.
exactly. Yeah, right. Excuse me. And this here is the VWAP.
Okay.
Okay, and then something that I really like is this yellow line. See this dotted line?
Yeah.
And it extends over here, and then drops, and then extends and drops. That is the current volume point of control.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So that's dynamic, and it's very, very helpful to know whether you're above or below it.
Yeah, that's
You
the
got a trade going on, or you're looking to get into a trade. I like to reference that and the VWAP to kind of give me a context of where I want to get in or whether I want to get in at all.
So I've got somebody in YouTube here that says Rhythmic and Sierra see the full book, so you can see 100 ticks away.
So there you go. There's your answer. Oh, here's
There it is, right?
There it is right there. And see if we got anything below. Not really. But see how far below they go?
Uh-huh.
They were down here 20 and 15 is showing us. Look at that at 897, 3,900.
Interesting.
You see how the book is filling in below price here.
Right. You're getting some liquidity there.
Yeah, so if you were going long, or if you you were short from up here around 38 or something, and you're looking for a reason
To get
cover
out.
you short, you see all that liquidity below you, you just might cover you short right there.
Right. Yeah, because those are longs, buys waiting to get filled.
Yeah, unless they're not. Unless
Yeah,
they're
right.
spooky,
Right.
You
Right.
never really know. But if you've already got a profit, you're probably going to cover there and take your chances.
Right.
You're going to leave a little on the table.
Well, we always do, don't we?
Right, we certainly do. I left a lot on the table today, as a matter of fact. I usually do.
Well, if you've got a plan, you trade your plan and your plan works and you get to your profit target, you're not leaving anything on the table. You got what you expected.
Right. It's interesting, this liquidity down here at 25 is near the IB low. I find that quite often, that the liquidity will gather around the IBs.
Yeah, that's
I've got a trade in my playbook, which is called an IB failure. We had one today, and I missed it.
at the top, right?
Yeah, I'll show you where it was. There is a theory, not mine, but smarter people than me say that a lot of that stops a place, above and below the IB and the midpoint. And find them.
Yeah, that was early.
Yeah, it was right here. Okay, so here the IB was put in earlier. I don't have the line going all the way back to 10:30. This is around 1 o'clock. But we went through the IB, and then we failed here and had a nice move to the downside.
Now you're viewing IB as first hour, right?
First hour.
Okay.
Yeah, IB high, IB low. There's a play IB failure, which this one was, and then there's an IB continuation, which is the opposite. This certainly has been a two-sided trade today.
Oh man, you're not kidding.
So whatever you want to do, Hog. I don't want to hog the screen.
No. Joe, thank you very much for agreeing to come and show us this book map. And there's certain things that you can adjust in this, right? Like you can adjust how many contracts it takes to change the color of a certain level. Is that right?
You can do a lot. What I have here is the stripped down, Think a Swim free version
Of book map. Okay.
of book map. Okay, I mean, it is just a shadow of what you can get if you compare to your subscription to Bookmap itself and get the real one. What this doesn't have is the MBO data that you can get with Bookmap, which is, in my opinion, invaluable because you can see the icebergs. And even more important for someone that trades like I do, that trades the liquidation breaks, stop runs, if you will, is that you can see the exhaustion at the consolidation. Say you're looking to go short, and the end of the stop run, you can zoom in, and you can see where the stops are going off. And so once you start seeing, say it's consolidating, I'll really zoom out. Say it's consolidating, the MBO data will flash on here how many stops as it's going up. When you start seeing 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 stop, 4 stops, compared to like maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes prior when it was going up, you start seeing stops like 100, 200, 50, 60.
Sure.
So forth. Then all of a sudden you start seeing 5Zs and 2Zs and 1Zs. That gives you a pretty good indication that this might be a good place to enter your short position.
Got it.
So like right here, I'm going to zoom in there. That's seven contracts. I don't have the MBO data that's going to give me even better information than that, even on a smaller time frame. So the MBO data is, which I don't have, which I'm going to try to finance with my winnings from Top Step. That's my goal. Try to make enough money to subscribe to that, because I'd like to have that MBO data. And they have there are a lot of other things too that they have. I mean, they have more than I'll ever use.
Cool. Now, have you checked out Vista, which is what's the company? I can't think of it. It does show, it will show stops. I'm not sure if it's necessarily showing them right now. Here, I'm going to take the screen back, Vince. Jigsaw, thank you, Trading Research. Joe, have you checked out thank you, Ben. Thank you, Trading Research. Have you checked out the Vista? It's kind of similar.
I am familiar with them, but I have not tried them out. No.
Okay. Right. Just asking if you had any kind of preference, but we're at the lows here. Do we do anything here?
Ask Ben, because I have not been concentrating. I've been talking.
Ben's not here today.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing that's kind of interesting on a longer term basis, not for a trade now, but we are near a put wall. We can ask Anne Marie about it Tuesday. Pretty significant at 3,900. That's a gamma level where if price gets near there, the dealers are forced to become very, very active, because as you get in that area, on the line of the sand, but I'm going to say 5 to 10 points plus or minus, all those put positions, the long put positions, are in the money. And as you get closer, the IV expands too, which gives them more premium. So they have an incentive to sell.
Right.
Sell their puts. And when they sell their puts, that means the dealers have to buy them. And when they're long puts, that means they're in short position they don't want to be in, so they go into the futures market and buy futures. So that acts as a support, if you will.
That 3,900 level, which we saw on your book map, is there.
And if you go through it with vengeance, then that's telling you some information too, that this market is really being sold.
Looks like
So that's why anyone that's interested in that concept of the influence that options have on
futures.
especially intraday trading, Spot Gamma is a good reference. SpotGamma.com.
I got that right here. I haven't had the opportunity to go look at it just yet, but I have to before Tuesday. So here we are.
Oh, where you trade the outside edges.
Yes.
I remember a couple of years ago, I watched a YouTube example. Went for about an hour. You were a guest of somebody, and you showed a trade off a profile, a very, very oversold long that you took, and you used. I think it was it was a tail with single prints.
Sure.
You got long and so forth. This MBO data is kind of the same concept on a smaller time frame, if you will, on a micro time frame. You're buying or selling an exhaustion, which is what you were doing a couple of years ago on the profile. I tried to find that recently, and I couldn't find it.
That webinar, was it on like Futures IO or something?
Yeah, one of those sites that you were a guest of. It's really worth looking at and reviewing if you can find. It was one of the best examples of profile trading that I've seen. I got a lot out of it. I watched it 3 or 4 times.
Good. Well, I'm glad you got something out of it. I just took a long down here just because of how cheap it is.
Yeah.
Just similar to what we're just talking about. You get to the extreme, you fade it, and if it goes, you're in good.
And we're right at a 2 standard deviation on the
VWAP.
VWAP.
Right there.
Yeah, right at 25, which is where you get in.
So I'm not planning on marrying this. We get near a point of control, I'll just take it.
If you want to share my book map to give you an idea where liquidity is, I can do that.
If you'd like. Go ahead. My stop's in 25.
See, I have this on. I only want to see the extreme liquidity levels. Watch when I change this, so I can see all of them.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's what I was looking at. Yeah, you can kind of attenuate how little or how much bids or offers you need to see.
Put it on the extreme.
Got it.
On the extreme.
Understood.
Okay, it looks like the algos are working now. You can see how close liquidity is squeezing into price. That's usually an indication. At least people I follow that know this stuff, tell me that's an indication that the algos are working.
So now, when we're in, make HOAG money and you're saying there's liquidity here, there's liquidity there, the algos are now working, we know what you're looking at. Well, at least we have an idea or a picture of it. This is good.
Right, yeah. And on the smaller time frame here, which goes back to 322, you can see the profile. And this line, and the, this line here also is the, VWAP.
Whoops.
VWAP for this just this time frame. I'm gonna take that out of there. Okay, so you got nice liquidity down here at 28, supporting your long, right? Yep, supporting your trade. And you got pretty good room above, except that, see that liquidity just came in?
Mm-hmm.
At 31?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big, that's a big level. That's a big size level. That's what the red signifies. Now, the good news and bad news. The good news is that the price tends to be attracted to that level. The bad news is that if it's real, then it's going to be a form of resistance. Yeah, I can zoom in. I'll zoom out. I don't know what you.
And now we're getting up near that liquidity.
Yeah. And liquidity's filling in above, you see it? Okay, that was a pretty good trade right there. That was 210 contracts, that big dot. Or I can zoom like that. Which one do you prefer?
Whichever.
Is this good, or you want me to squeeze it?
That's good.
Yeah, okay. So you got liquidity below. Quite a bit. Algos are working. See how it's all filling in above and below.
Mm-hmm.
That's the algos working. See that little stop run? That's the algos working.
There's the pit noise.
350 contracts, so they didn't pull it. They traded there.
Okay.
So that big dot, 353 contracts. Actually, they traded that level, which supports your long. The fact that we don't have any liquidity up here, just light liquidity at 35, 34, supports your long. Liquidity filling in here below you around 30, that supports your long. Except now the algos that could be starting to show up again. I mean, that doesn't necessarily be a negative, but
All right, I'm taking the screen back here.
yeah.
We are getting some pretty decent profit on this long down here. I'm going to go ahead and put a exit here at 33. Make it 32 and a quarter. It's about 2 to 1, so we're going to take that if we get there. Steve Can would be exhausted after a day if that's what the pit was like. Definitely a happy hour afterwards, right? Yeah, the pit was pretty crazy. I don't know, Joe. What do you think? Do we cut bait here, or do we keep going with this?
Well, let me take a look at my screen.
Mm-hmm.
That can give you some pretty good levels. We've got the developing point of control at 34.
Yeah, we just got hit, so
I'm going to say that might be a good target.
yeah, that's what I was kind of shooting for. But I always go short of where I think where I want to.
Yeah.
We got 2 to 1 on that one, so
Leave some for the sweeper.
that's right. So now, I feel like a fish, fish in a bag, right? We're stuck in the bag, but we're in the water. Now what do? We just wait now. We had
Well,
a
I'm looking at a lower distribution here, which we seem to be trading in since 1 o'clock Central.
okay. Yeah, right
It's a
here,
lower
right?
distribution, and I like to use the developing profile for intraday trading. And I mentioned to you that the developing POC is right there at 34.55. This is a bad place to be placing a trade
Right.
because, as you always tell us, stay out of the middle.
Yep.
So for this profile, which runs from 40 down to the low of the day, we're right in the middle.
Right.
So we want to be looking for a short around 40 or looking for a long where you get in before.
Yes, which is, I don't mind the idea of the 40. It's pretty close to point of control, the TPO point of control, but it's going to be VWAP if it gets there.
VWAP, we VWAP at around 40.
Yeah.
You-
Yep.
Yeah. But that was a nice trade off that 2 standard deviation.
And it was low. It was single TPOs in the profile. Very little time spent there. Very little volume. That's what I like is trading where we don't get the opportunity for long. We've had the
Now,
opportunity.
if that was a stop run lower,
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking to get in along like you were, that's where the MBO data. I would really get into the micro time frame and look for that exhaustion on the MBO data, telling me the stops exhausted on the downside. And that's what I would
That's
use
you
on
get
the
in.
micro level to get into the long. And what that does is that gives me a good location to place my short, my stop rather. Because I'll put it in a couple ticks below that swing.
Excuse me. Goodness.
Now, what did you use for a stop? How many points, Hope?
It was just
On that.
just a few ticks outside the current day time frame range.
Okay, that swing low. Couple
Yep.
ticks
Yep.
below that.
Yep.
Yep.
We're so range bound here. It's like, what do we do?
SOH.
Yeah. We should just
I would look for a short at VWAP.
VWAP.
On the developing time frame, that's the middle of a low volume node. I got a high volume node at the regular trading hour volume point of control around 43, and that's also halfback. And there, and then you have VWAP below that around 39.40. And that's the end of my developing high volume node on the daily. If you follow me.
Getting a message here. Apparently, we've been having issues with TS Trader being unable to enter and get out of position. So I probably won't be doing anything else for the day here.
Yeah, that's a pretty important issue to tackle.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
But at least, we're really kind of centrally located in an area where I wouldn't even be thinking about taking a trade.
exactly.
No harm,
Thank
no
you.
foul. Brent, that tool that Joe was presenting is called Bookmap. Brent was asking, what is it called in Thinkorswim? And I see if there's any other questions. You're ready to vacate the area. We have defined risk on this.
To answer his question on Thinkorswim, you have to call into the helpline and ask for it. Otherwise, they do not advertise it. You have to ask for it, and then they'll put it up. They have a $49 a month subscription that gives you all products, all ETF products. The free one gives you Microsoft, ES, and one other stock. I only trade ES, so this is fine for me.
Thank you, Joe. Okay. All right. Well, if this is a situation where we're not going to be able to make HOAG money, do we stick around?
Don't you have an issue to deal with?
Well, yeah. We should probably just call it a day. See what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we've got make HOAG money, and I'm sure the issue will be resolved by then.
I don't see anything to do. We're in the middle of that distribution,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you on that. So, I guess we'll just call this an early make HOAG money. We'll go and see what we can do about this issue, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. Probably do the recap at 3:00 as usual today. I've got time to prepare for it. So, if you're there, we're looking forward to seeing you there. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Sorry about the issues today with TS Trader, but we'll get those resolved as soon as possible, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everybody.